fans, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have another special review. This one is coming from a subscriber's car. So this is actually a subscriber's car to the channel. Her name is Aim, and guess what? She's aiming for some performance with this car. What are we talking about? We're talking about this Acura Integra Type S. But before we get into Aim's Apex Blue, one of my favorite colors of any automotive brand, Apex Blue Type S, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Integra, it's been around since 1986, and what's interesting is that Acura has also been around since 1986, if you could believe that. Now, the Integra changed names. It went from Integra to RSX, and then eventually the RSX disappeared. It wasn't until just recently when the Integra nameplate came back. Now, at first, a lot of the fans were up in arms because they were all thinking that it was going to be a two-door Integra Type R. Obviously, things have changed since the original Integra Type R came to be. And I think finally, when the Type S came out, the performance variant of the Integra, people were then saying, I see what Acura has done. Now, what's great about the Integra, just like a lot of other compact performance cars out there, is people could add their own special touches. Not only for looks, but also for performance and that driving engagement. So what I want to find out is the Integra Type S the best compact performance car platform to do those mods? Let's go ahead, let's dive into Ames and find out. Right off the bat, the color, Apex Blue, makes me drool every time that I see it, and it really sparkles like a diamond in the Florida sun. Now, what's really awesome about Aim and her husband Den is that they actually drove this car from Jacksonville. We're located in Tampa right now, and that's not a short drive, so definitely want to say thank you for them driving that long distance. But as you can see, the car is looking oh so good. Now, at the front of the business, where are we going to see some of the changes? Love the way they have the inlay, making that Integra with the red on the A pop. This is one of those design signature cues that Acura really wanted to bring to the Integra, because guess what? The original one had that same name embossed in the front fascia. But of course, styling wise, from the factory, they got the Type S perfect. From that really nice flared fender, everything all painted Apex Blue, to the super slim signature chicane daytime running lamps in their headlight housing. And then where do we start to see some of the changes? Now, working our way down, the Type S already has these massive corner air intakes. That's going to help flow air for all the heat exchangers and aero. That is finished in gloss black. Now, what you're going to see that's been added is this Jogon splitter that's carbon fiber. So you'll notice that beautiful carbon fiber not only on the corners, but then as we kind of drift in front of the center grille, you'll notice how that splitter goes from one side to the other. It's one of those things that when it comes to adding aero, it's always nice when you could add a piece that's actually functional. And these splitter additions are larger than stock, of course, and they also have that extra downforce and are featured in carbon fiber. Now, the front grille, very nice how they did the blackout badge package. So this is from Acura, where it's an option. You could get your blacked out badges. The Acura badge, that precision crafted performance grille, nothing really has to be changed with the upper grille, because remember, they enlarged that from the factory over the standard Integra to flow more cool air. You got to have your Type S badge, and I love the way that all the badges from front to back on Aim's Type S have been blacked out. Now, in the lower section, you are going to have that lower large functional opening. You'll see the intercooler peeking from behind, because remember, one of the things that makes this car so much fun to drive is that turbocharged intercooled power plant. But I really love those aero pieces that have been added, because like I said, not only do they look good, they're also functional. Now, as we rise up, you have that super sleek design. Notice how we have the Jogon Carbon Fiber heat extractor. The heat extractor is normally gloss black. Having that carbon fiber makes it pop nicely, especially with the Apex Blue. And that's another thing. When it comes to carbon fiber, you could have the gloss carbon fiber or the dry matte carbon fiber. It really comes down to preferences, to be honest with you. But both pieces look fantastic. Now, as we swing wide around those fender flares, you're going to notice these wheels that have been added. These are VMR free-formed wheels. You're looking at 19 inches in diameter by 9.5 in width. Love that matte graphite finish. And it really, I don't know if it just seems like it was meant to be, that the red center cap here really pops nicely with those Brembo calipers. Those are obviously stock from the factory with your two-piece rotors. What have been added are Acura ceramic brake pads to help increase that braking performance. But definitely this split spoke design on the wheel, like I said, 19 by 9.5, free-formed wheel from VMR. Looks good. It's going to be less rotating mass. We're talking about 23.5 pounds less. When you look at all four corners of this car, that's less rotating mass. That's going to make Ames Integra Type S quicken up the steering right away. And then you'll notice, of course, we have those Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Tires are going to be 265 on the width, 30 series sidewall. And you'll also notice that Ames Type S is actually a little bit lower. It's sitting on Eibach lowering springs to help with that lowering of the center of gravity. On top of that, the A-arm has been changed. That's going to allow her to adjust camber and caster very easily to help this thing carve the corners like you carve a Thanksgiving Day turkey. But let me know if you like the style of the wheel with the Apex Blue. I think she definitely did it right. Now, coming down the side, like I said, you got the complete blacked out badges from start to finish. We have the Jogon Carbon Fiber mirror caps. What I like about them is you'll notice there's a little bit of vortex generator aero in there rather than smooth like the optional factory pieces. Down below, of course, to help protect the paint, we have those gloss black fender flares there to help protect any kind of rock chips. And another thing I noticed is that there is PPF on her car as well, because the great news is that she drives this car. They just got back from a trip not too long ago to the Dragon, the tail of the Dragon. Remember, 318 turns in 11 miles. Now, coming towards the rear, love the way, like I said, the fender flares, it's like, don't even touch it. Looks absolutely perfect. And then coming to the rear, you'll notice the shark fin antenna, carbon fiber from Jogon. Love that extra touch. It's all about cohesive design and the cohesive materials. This is going to be your optional factory hatch spoiler. This is something that you can get, like I said, like the blacked out badges from Acura. Usually it's a dealer installed when it comes to the dealership from the factory. And then working our way down, like before, that massive rear diffuser area. Coming across the back, we got a catback MBRP exhaust. Love the way the tips are staggered. Nice slash cut and the matte carbon fiber finish around each of the three openings. I can't wait to hear. Normally a stock Integra Type S has a nice sound to it, but this is going to really let that four-cylinder turbo sing. And then, of course, just like before, you got the inlay with the Integra. It's just the little touches. The little touches all come together in a very, very big way. But why don't we go ahead? We checked out the exterior. Let's pop the hood and see what's changed on Ames Type S. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on Ames Type S. Some of the touches you'll notice is like I said, bringing that cohesive design. So that rain guard, this is something that if you do a track day, you should remove, but the rain guard being driven on the street, I love the way that they painted it red to kind of blend in with the other red accents, because what you're going to notice is that you have a Blitz strut tower brace with the red on each shock top mount. That's going to help stiffen up the front end of this vehicle. We got a titanium reservoir there with the Type S and the Acura badge. You'll notice the beautiful carbon fiber APR, that APR Racing carbon fiber set. But what else do we have going on underneath the hood? Now, a stock 2-liter turbo inline 4 in a Type S is going to have 320 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. Obviously, it's made it to a 6-speed manual transmission. The car weighs right around 3,200 pounds, but here is what AIM's car has. Right off the top, it's got a Honda Flash Pro. It's got the variable stage 2 tune that's going to increase that horsepower. It's got a Miltech race downpipe, a Takata HFI intake. I already talked about the strut brace, and then Jay's titanium covers on the ECU and the fuse cover, plus you have that reservoir. Now, when it comes to those A-arms I was telling you about, those are RV6 A-arms, and that's gonna be able to allow you to adjust for toe and camber. What I love about underneath the hood is, like I said, those titanium pieces. You have that Takata open air inbox with that race style cone filter there. That's gonna help bring more flow in. And what's awesome about this is not like it's just been added and that was it. Having that variable stage 2 tune is gonna allow this car to really reap the benefits from these changes, not only aesthetically, but also those performance changes. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up AIM's Integra Type S and hear it sing. All right, guys, we are inside AIM's Acura Integra Type S. So many great changes on the outside. Definitely some great changes and mods underneath the hood. I can't wait to show you around the interior. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I want to be just like AIM. I want an Integra Type S. How much is a new one? Well, guess what? Just like everything else, prices keep going up. A new Acura Integra Type S of 2025, you're basically looking around MSRP $54,000. It was not that high when it was first introduced. So I don't know about you, you may want to jump on one before the prices even go higher. But let's see what AIM has done to the interior of her Type S, to the door panels. I already love the clean style from Acura, especially with that aluminum trim that blends into the speaker grill cover for that ELS Studio 3D sound system. You're also going to notice the Jogon Carbon Fiber, that's real deal, around the switchgear. You're still going to have your red stitching, and then of course a door pocket that's large enough, easily put 2 Arby's beef and cheddars and a root beer to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, more of that dry weave carbon fiber, and I'm glad that she went with the matte dry weave. The reason why is I find a lot of times when people put gloss carbon fiber, it creates so much extra glare that isn't fun when you're going through the twisty bits if you're getting blinded by the sun. You're still gonna get that wire mesh over the AC vents, really gives it a nice custom look right from the factory, but the carbon fiber takes it to the next level. Slide on in, you are gonna have your standard 9-inch infotainment system. I guess the one zonk that I have from Acura is that it doesn't have any type of data logger system like the Type R does. And I get it, this is supposed to be more for the road, but it would be nice to be able to bring up auxiliary gauges and things like that. You have your dual climate control, heated seats, 3 stages, down below USB-C, USB-A, 12 volt, and wireless charging. More of that Jogon carbon fiber, and then this is where the magic happens. That's that short throw 6-speed manual transmission that has that red gear pattern with the leather perforated and the Alcantara material. Of course, the Type S, they actually inlaid the S in the Type S there. 2 large cup holders, More Alcantara with the red stitching, and then the seats. The Type S embossed, not as aggressive as a Type R seat, but still gonna hold you in place well. I guess for me, the one zonk is that it's manual for the passenger side. It should be electric for both sides. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I wanna show you behind the wheel in this modded Type S. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. Ames Type S has the optional factory pieces, aluminum, that dark aluminum that lights up ambient lighting on that sill plate. And then check out the pedal box. Of course, you're gonna have your triple pedal action because this is a manual, all aluminum pedals. Plus she added the aluminum dead pedal. That's as simple as it's gotta be. That should come like that from the factory. We do have the Type S floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower right off the top. And then, like I said, driver's seat, fully adjustable. Electric-wise, I'm 6 feet tall. Plenty of room in here. Seats feel good. Steering wheel, you're gonna wanna rub your hand all over it because you got the perforated leather, the smooth leather. It is manually adjustable. And then on top of that, I love the way it's finished off with the carbon fiber around the gauge cluster. Of course, that 10.25 inch gauge cluster and a head-up display. Now there is a back seat. We know that because there's 4 doors. There's also a very large trunk area underneath that hatch, but we're not gonna show you that. What I wanna show you, if you're ready, I'm ready, is I wanna go on throttle in Ames Type S. Let's do it. All right guys, we are in Ames Acura Integra Type S. This is where you get to really see the work that she has done, because aesthetically you can see the changes, but once you get behind the wheel is really where you're gonna notice the changes. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Sport Plus mode, here we go. On throttle. Dab of the brakes. Love the way the power delivery is so linear, and it's all because of that tune and all the pieces of the puzzle that have been put together. On those brakes, look at this. The car just instantly turns from one direction to another. That 6-speed manual transmission. Wow, look at this. Oh my God, it feels absolutely perfect. So let's talk about what the heck just happened here. So with the eye-back lowering springs, not only do you help the look on the exterior, but it's lowering that center of gravity, and it's really giving such a communicative experience by what the front wheels are sending through the steering wheel. And that's important, especially in a car like this, because it is front-wheel drive. The car at the front end of the business is doing everything. So you really want to know exactly how much grip you have, how much steering input, all of that needs to be communicated properly through the wheel. And the way that she has this car set up does that. Now with the variable tune, it really cleans up that torque delivery. Obviously, turbocharged engines, especially a single turbocharged engine, is going to have some boost lag. With the tune and the other bits, the exhaust, the downpipe, the intake, all those things, it helps clean that up. And that's what the variable tune, well, that's why it's so popular, is because it turns these things into a monster like you wouldn't even expect just by the tune. And this does have a stage 2 tune to it. Now, to wrap up the full package, having those Akabono ceramic pads is going to give you a little bit better pedal feel, a consistent pedal feel, and give you better pedal feedback. So that's another reason why even something as simple as a pad change can make a huge difference when it comes to braking performance. Guys, we got some more twisty bits. 3rd gear, 2nd gear, on throttle, here we go. The pops, the bangs. Love the way the engine just pulls all the way to red line. It really is a transformation. And that's what's so great about being a car enthusiast, is that for many people, stock is great, And there's nothing wrong with the stock setup in this car, but when you take it to the next level, that's where you really can appreciate what this car is all about. And I mean, for a front-wheel drive car to perform as well as AIM's car does, it just shows you how she made the right decisions with the mods, and of course, like I said, with that Stage 2 tune to really take advantage. I don't know if I would really want more horsepower. The reason why is that eventually those front wheels and tires, they're only going to be able to handle so much on acceleration and cornering, and you want to be able to get the power to the ground. And with this setup the way it is, it gets the power to the ground so efficiently. And that's what I love. All right, guys, time to enjoy some more of these twisty bits. You know me, I can never get enough of these. And being in such a fine tune, it's like somebody tuned a perfect violin. That's how I feel about this Type S. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Third gear, pulls all the way up. Nice. Decreasing radius. Look at the way she just holds. Rolling out. If you've never driven an Integra Type S or a Honda Civic Type R, you owe it to yourself, because front-wheel drive cars are not supposed to do what this car does. And it shows all of that great engineering experience from Honda's Formula One program, sports cars, IndyCar, and all of that, because with the way that this car is set up from the factory, it's already an ace. But like I said, with the changes that have been done to this car, it really just sharpens the scalpel to where it is laser pinpoint precise. And that's what I love about these cars, is that at the end of the day, it's not about 900 horsepower. It's about the balanced package that allows you to take what you want from the car, and the car, it's like having a perfect dancing partner. The car just wants to dance with you. And that's what I find perfect about this Type S. Hey guys, I don't want it to end, but we got to get this car back to AIM. They got to get back to Jacksonville. Second gear, one more time for you, definitely one more time for me. On throttle, here we go. Pull, pull, pull. Look at that. On the brakes. Look at the way that the turn-in is so crisp, so quick. And then, like I said, the power delivery is phenomenal. Transitioning left to right. Look at it. It's a bullet. It literally is a cruise missile how this car performs, and it is going to surprise people. If you know how to drive and you know how to do the dance with the pedals, this thing is lethal, especially the way that it has been modified. But like I said, we got to get back and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys. One of those days. It's one of those days when any day is a good day when we could go through some twisty bits, but it makes it even better when we get to share the experience with you. And it just so happens that this car is owned by a Radies Rides family member. So grateful to have AIM bring her car out. Now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments section, when it comes to mods and the Integra Type S, do you like the direction that she has gone with her car? Or would you want to do some different changes? Let me know in the comment section. Or at the end of the day, are you more of a Civic Type R kind of person? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. He's out here in the sun, sweating it off. But you know what? He enjoyed this review as well because he loves the Integra Type S. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.